Hello, 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 everyone. Dr. Fryson here from Fryson Intuitive Group, FIG, where we produce fruit, right? So today we're going to have another conversation with Dr. Fryson, and this conversation is going to be about sea moss gel. And I know there's a lot of hype around sea moss gel, but you know what I like to do? I like to give you information, have you informed so that you can make a decision as to whether you should add sea moss gel to your healthcare routine. Remember, not everything is for everybody. You have to decide what is best for you. That's the whole part of taking your health and putting it in your hands and not allowing someone else to be in control of your health, right? All these videos are educational. I have references at the conclusion of every PowerPoint. You can go look up the information for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it, right? If I tell you that a client said something about a product, that's because that's what the client said. Most of the time, they send me evidence because I ask for evidence. I ask for pictures. I want to see the pictures of before and after. Okay? So take this information, use it if it's useful. If not, toss it. All right? So I've worked hard to make this a reality for me to be able to share this PowerPoint with you guys because sharing the PowerPoint, having these three monitors can be a little bit challenging sometimes. So let's go ahead and share the screen and see if it does it the way I need for it to do it. Okay, so if these captions work appropriately, you should see what I am saying on the screen. You guys know I'm from the South. Therefore, sometimes a word may come up that not exactly is what I said. All right, so just be aware, okay? All right, so let's get started. Sea moss gel presented by Dr. Fryson, Fryson Intuitive Group. There's a picture in the background of the sea moss gel that I have available on my website. I prefer for you to go to my tsfcenter.com to purchase products. I do have some of them listed on drfryson.com, but if you remember, drfryson.com is mainly for my educational programs, for my students. That's where they normally go, okay? Now, let's get started with sea moss gel, shall we? First thing I want you guys to know is why the hype? Why are people into sea moss gel so much now? And the biggest reason is celebrities. Anytime a celebrity go and say an endorsement for something, then people go crazy over it. In recent times, here are some people who have been talking about sea moss and their use of sea moss in their plant-based diet. Kim Kardashian is one of the biggest one because people like Erica Badu, Charlamagne the God, those people were using sea moss for quite a while. And then when Kim Kardashian said something about sea moss, everybody was like, I gotta have it, I gotta have it, right? You guys, um, I find it funny, but it is what it is. Whatever it takes to kind of get people into the knowledge of things that can benefit them, I guess that's what we got to go with. One of the biggest things is Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi talked about CMOS and his students and practitioners who follow him. They know about CMOS because it is part of his fasting plan, and that is from what I read. I don't follow Dr. Sebi, and we know he has transitioned, but I am not one of his students. So I am not giving you information on behalf of that platform, but I have seen a few videos that pop up of people who claim to be from his academy, his school that he apparently has somewhere that someone in his family is still running. And these are things that they have said. I don't know it to be true. I'm just telling you about videos that are out there. But because of the whole movement towards plant-based lifestyle and finding things that can help you in a plant-based diet, which I can definitely say the Dr. Sebi whole basis is kind of a big reason for that within the people of color community. So therefore, they talked about using CMOS, and everybody's trying to buy CMOS. Everybody's trying to take CMOS. You know me, I'm here to provide you with knowledge on health and wealth. Knowledge is powerful. I do not want you just buying sea moss. Even if I sell it, I don't want you just buying it without knowing whether or not it is something that would be beneficial for you. Okay? Let's not just take things behind hype. All right? So we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to have an overview of sea moss, and then we're going to talk about the benefits of sea moss, and then we're going to talk about some side effects of sea moss. And we're going to make this very easy. First thing, sea moss is a spiny sea vegetable. It comes from the ocean. Scientific name is Chondrus crispus, and it grows along the Atlantic coast between North America and Europe. That's important because there is some concern over sources, like where a person get the sea moss from, and whether or not the sea moss is legitimate or fake. Okay. Hey, today they can print meat, so there's a lot of stuff that's fake. But apparently, if you're getting the product that is not real, you are not necessarily going to have all of the nutrients. And sometimes you have added things, and that also comes into effect when you talk about the side effects. Now, it comes in multiple colors. Red is the most popular color right now, and it's associated with Irish moss. But there's purple, there's brown, there's a combination of a purple and red together. And I can't say that one version is better than the next, but people who sell the purple one say the purple's the best. People who sell the red say the red is the best. I've seen people from Honduras claim one thing, people from Jamaica claim another one. I don't know the differences as far as that go. I am not a sea mossologist. I am a natural health and healing practitioner, and I know something about the benefits of sea moss. I don't cultivate it. I don't go into the ocean and get it out. I do get mine not from the United States, because I can definitely say if sea moss is coming from the United States, it's probably not the authentic version unless it's just a distribution site. So if it's coming from, Jamaica, one of the countries there where they have been cultivating sea moss for hundreds of years, then I tend to value it a little bit more. And that's why I source mine from places outside the US, just so you know. Now, sea moss is considered to be very nutrient dense, which means it has a lot of nutrients. And that's important because that's what the hype is. The hype is if you are missing a nutrient, taking sea moss can help add that whatever nutrient it is back into your body. Because it is said that sea moss has between 92 and 96 of the 102 minerals needed for your body. So kind of a big deal on that part of it. So according to Anna Restoff, and again, my references are at the end of the presentation, she's a dietitian and considers sea moss to be one of the most nutrient dense foods on the planet. So people who support sea moss and promote sea moss use this type of information to say this is why you should be consuming it. It has a lot of vitamins, a lot of minerals, and then it has some polyunsaturated fats. It has many anti-inflammatory compounds, which is huge because inflammation is running amok in the United States. There's a lot of young people who have inflammatory disorders. It also contains a good level of iron and magnesium. And 1 ounce, which is 28.3 grams, it has 14% of your daily value of iron. So that's a lot of iron. And we'll talk about why that's important soon. Again, I like to give you information. I want you to have a general knowledge of the nutritional content within what's a 2 tablespoons of sea moss. And that's because not everyone will put what this information is on the back of their label. Sea moss is not as regulated as some other things because of course it is a herb, it's from the sea, and there's in the US they really don't have the same standards as some foods. So you might see labels that have some of this information, but not all of it because it's not required to put all of it there. Generally, 2 tablespoons has like 5 calories, which is kind of good because if a person is on a diet where they're fasting, when they do consume the sea moss, it's not going to have high calorie content. Has protein of 0.2 grams and fat even less. So it's not high in fat, but it does have fiber. That's going to be important. Has carbohydrates, has calcium, very important. Has iron, important. Magnesium, important. Phosphorus, potassium, sodium, zinc, and copper. See these levels here? Now, I want to highlight a couple of things on this first page just for your reference because I have a history working with dialysis patients and kidney patients. If you're a dialysis patient, you're not supposed to have a lot of potassium in your diet. That's why bananas are not on the list of foods that a dialysis patient is allowed to consume. Sea moss has a high level of potassium, and if you're taking it every day, you may run the risk of getting too much potassium, and that's not good for the dialysis patient. Okay. It also has a high level of magnesium and then a considerably high level of iron. If you're on iron supplements because you have a thyroid disorder, you may not want to add sea moss to it. You could get into iron toxicity. So it's very important for you to know what is in the substance before you just start taking it. Do know that when I work with my clients and we do a health consultation, one of the things I go over with them is what they are actively taking, what they have recently stopped taking, and what they are trying to add into their diet. And the reason I do that is because if I tell them as a herbalist, you need to add turmeric or this will be beneficial to you, I kind of have to be mindful that turmeric is going to interfere with their blood thinner, right? Same thing with sea moss. If a person's just buying it off my site because they've already been taking it and they want to add some more of it to their wellness plan, fine. But if a person's coming to me, they've never used sea moss, I go through a list of questions to decide if that's really something they need to be adding, right? We do a complete pharmacology review because it has to be done. And I hope that even if you aren't working with me, whatever practitioner you're working with, I would hope that you would actually go to them and say, hey, this is everything that I'm on. Is there any problem with what you're taking, right? Or what you want me to take or what I'm thinking of taking. And most herbalists don't do this. Again, you guys know I'm an herbal scientist. My background is different, so I do this. Just for y'all who don't know, when I first went to college, I went to school for pharmacy and decided I didn't want to be a drug pusher and got out of that. Okay. All right. This next set of data on these next three slides comes from the Food Data Central. Again, the references at the end. This is what they consider to be in sea moss gel in 100 grams of sea moss, right? 100 grams. So 100 grams of sea moss is going to have water. It's going to have energy in the form of 49 kilocalories. That's general calories. It's going to have some protein, 1.51 grams. It's going to have a little bit of fat and it's going to have ash. And ash is a total measurement of the nutrients. And the ash is going to be 4.7 grams. Okay. Then it's going to have fiber, 1.3 grams. So of course people tell you fiber is good for your diet. And I'll make another video at some point to get into the reality of fiber and what it does versus what it doesn't do because there's a lot of hype around it. But anyway, there is some fiber in sea moss. Then there's some calcium in sea moss, and that's really good because calcium is good for your bones. This is why some people say sea moss supports bone health. This is why some people say women over 50 who are taking multivitamins can just take sea moss instead. Do you see where people are making the link? So they're saying if you have a calcium deficiency and you have a magnesium deficiency, which are both linked to osteoporosis, whole nother conversation, and you take sea moss, which has high concentration of both of those things, and you go out and walk in the sun, then some people are saying that some natural health people, some natural health practitioners are asserting that the sea moss in effect would be much better for you than taking the vitamins or that they push over the counter or whatever for different reasons. But I want you guys to be able to make the connection to understand why this is being said. I'm not saying that vitamins versus sea moss. I'm not getting into that debate. I want you to understand where the information comes from so that you can make your best, most informed decision. Okay? Now, this next slide has some more things. I want you guys to know one thing. It is important to know what is in sea moss, but it's even more important to know what you are taking and if taking something else or adding something else could have an adverse outcome on your life, right? So again, as I said, if you're taking iron supplements, you're going to add sea moss. Well, sea moss has iron in it, right? Do you need to take sea moss if it's going to cause a problem? It's going to give you iron overload. You need to make that decision. Has magnesium, high quantity, phosphorus, high quantities, potassium, high quantities, sodium, high quantity, zinc, high quantity, copper. Now, a whole nother thing, one day we guys need to have a conversation about copper and zinc and their importance. Manganese, selenium. Too many. One day I need to just do a video for you guys on nutrients in general, so we can have some conversations about this. But right here, this slide is one of the things that, if nothing else, if I were promoting sea moss, I would just throw this slide up here and say, look at what it has right here, aside from everything else, because the overall benefit of the minerals and things on this slide is huge, huge. So that's definitely a benefit. But again, there's side effects. So that doesn't mean that everybody needs to take it. I told you already, if you're a dialysis patient, you got to watch your potassium. If you already have high blood pressure, you have to watch your sodium. You see what I'm saying? So it has these things, and you kind of need to be aware of what this is going to do for your body. Other things that they have: vitamin C, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, pantothenic acid, vitamin B6, folate. So these are the vitamin C and the B complex groups. And I know you guys have seen videos. If you're into health and wellness, you've seen all this about how important vitamin B's and getting your vitamin B's in, and the regulation of fat and all kinds of things. You've seen that, right? Well, sea moss has some of these things in there, and it has vitamin C. You may have seen how good and how important vitamin C is for your overall immunity. You've seen things, conversations like that, videos promoting vitamin C. Sea moss has it. Has choline. Then it has vitamin A. Most people know vitamin A is really good for your eyes. It's associated with adequate eye health. Has vitamin E's and associated with your skin health. Vitamin K, then it has fatty acids, but not a lot. Then it doesn't have cholesterol, and it doesn't have caffeine. So then there's the conversation that, well, it's not a high cholesterol food, which is good if a person has had any heart disorders and they're monitoring their cholesterol or their fat levels, because it doesn't have a lot of it. It doesn't have any caffeine, so it's not a stimulant, which means that it doesn't have the same impact on your heart, because some people have had issues with caffeine and led to heart problems. So those things are important. I also want to say what's not on the food data list is the collagen, which you see some of the vitamins are there, like E and stuff, and all that is related to the collagen, but it's not directly listed as collagen. But sea moss has collagen, which supports healthy hair and nails. And I'm not sure if it's the fact of the combination of the vitamins that are part of the collagen formation and the work that the collagen does on your health as far as your hair and nails, your skin. Because I don't know how the sea moss completely works, and I have not seen anyone who has done that study to that level. Again, another reason why it's not regulated. So what I say is having all the key nutrients allows the collagen to be more effective on your hair, your nails, and your skin. Okay. So let's go into the general benefits of sea moss. First, there was a study done by Medical News Today that concluded that weight loss was achieved by test subjects when they were taking sea moss daily. Now, I want to highlight a couple of things. One, the sea moss was taken daily for whatever period of time they will monitor them. I do remember seeing something of like 78% of the people showed weight loss versus the placebo group. And it was, let's just say 30 days. I did not see the information as to how many days, but again, it was for a period of time. It did not give they lost 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds. It said they lost weight. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that. I have my own theories about it just from what I know about sea moss and what I know about the body. And I think that there's a couple of reasons why this may have happened. One of the main ones is a lot of people in the United States have a problem with their hormones and they're missing minerals and nutrients. Sea moss has so many minerals and nutrients. I think that when you put those back into the body's able to regulate itself again. The homeostasis kicks in. It starts regulating your sleep cycle like it was supposed to, which sleep is vital to health and vital to eliminating waste. It starts regulating your hormones, and then you're able to sweat and excrete things because your thyroid is working, functioning properly, kind of thing. When your thyroid's not functioning correctly, you're not excreting, you're not sweating right, you're not, your metabolism slows down, all these things. So I believe the sea moss has an effect just by giving you back things that you're missing. Okay. Now it's also shown, and in my youth, let's just go with the things I'm listing on these slides are not coming from Dr. Fryson. These are coming from other sources that have said CMOS supports thyroid health. And that's again with the iodine. Iodine is missing or iodine levels are not high. Give the person the appropriate iodine. Sometimes it can completely correct the thyroid issue depending on what is the cause of the thyroid issue, because there's different parts to the thyroid. There's T3, T4, TSH, free T4. There's a lot of different parts. Okay. So depending on what is wrong with the thyroid, do you have hyper or hypothyroidism, adding CMOS may actually help. Supports gut health, so they consider it a prebiotic, which is breaking down the bacteria that's going to go into your body. And for me, if you follow me, the stomach is the second brain. So if it's all jacked up, you really can't function appropriately. You can't even think correctly. Just think about it. Have you ever been really, really full and then tried to do some homework? You couldn't do it, right? So let me mention another thing. Another thing I thought about with weight loss with sea moss is that because the sea moss is kind of gelatinous in nature, if you make sea moss, it starts off at a small size, and once you put it in the water, it expands. In my mind, there's something in that expansion process that can make a person feel full, perhaps in line with the fiber content, which is really what I think fiber does for you. When you take it, you feel full, and feeling full normally tells you not to eat. So fiber by itself, CMOS by itself, doesn't eliminate the mental, emotional eating. So that's a whole nother thing. Again, CMOS supports the immune system, and they have found that it helps fight cancer. There's certain types of cancers, the colorectal cancer, but they've shown that it helps to fight it. It can protect against neurodegenerative diseases. So those are brain disorders. So Alzheimer's and things of that nature, dementia. Supports muscle and energy recovery. Now that is really huge for athletes. Athletes are out there, you need to recover, you're doing all these things, you're taking all these things. They've shown CMOS to be really helpful. Excuse me just a moment. Supports fertility for women. And this is where I say it's helpful for people with PCOS. Some people. Excuse me. Again, supports healthy skin and hair. And most of you know, when I first started using CMOS as far as selling it to other people, that's the response that I was getting, is that my hair is growing back. My hair is growing back. And they sent me pictures, so I have the evidence of that. Okay, continuing on with the CMOS, and it helps to get rid of the mucus in the body. This is one of the things that I've seen a lot of the proponents of the Dr. CB lifestyle. This is one of the things I've seen them saying, that the getting rid of the mucus is, really beneficial, and it is beneficial. It's a sign of inflammation in the body, and it's a general sign of a lack of well-being when you have a lot of mucus. And so they're like, oh, sea moss can get rid of the mucus. I don't know if sea moss eliminates all of the mucus, but I can definitely see how the ingredients, the nutrients within the sea moss can help your body eliminate mucus. And this, later on, we'll speak to one of the side effects of taking sea moss. Is you may start, like, having a runny nose because you're eliminating some of the mucus. Helps balance hormones and improves the male reproductive health. So in one of the places, I think it was Jamaica, they were saying how sea moss historically has been used as a tonic so that the men can perform sexually for an extended period of time. Okay, so they use it, and they've used it for a very long time. And as a matter of fact, here in the States, when I have met people from Jamaica, they're like, I love sea moss. Now, these next couple of slides, actually like the next 4 slides, are going to be crucial for you. So these first 2 are side effects of sea moss. Big thing, iodine poisoning. Next thing, metal toxicity. Due to the increased iodine levels, a person could consume too much sea moss. This could be extremely dangerous, can lead to thyroid issues, other health problems. The metal toxicity can be done because of poor products sourcing. So not all products are cleaned appropriately, or not all products are regulated. So they're not of high quality. So you may have a high metal content. This is coming from the ocean. Can also cause bloating, constipation or diarrhea, which those are the same size of the coin, abdominal cramps, and headaches. For some people, it can cause fatigue, changes in menstrual cycles. It is balancing hormones. Excuse me. And for women, let's just think about this. When you're having your normal monthly cycle, you notice you break out because your hormone levels are changing. And when you go through menopause, you also break out like a teenager in a sense because your hormone levels are changing. If you have something that changes your hormones, you're going to see these side effects. It can cause acute anaphylactic shock, increased urination, or dehydration because you're getting rid of a lot of fluids. I'm not going to gloss over the anaphylactic shock. I'm going to tell you guys that if you have an allergy to shellfish, you may be allergic to sea moss. And if you could go into shock because of the allergic reaction. But if you have iron toxicity or metal toxicities, any one of those things, you could also go into shock. So that can be dangerous. Itching can be caused by hormone changes. We release things through our skin. So your skin, you could all of a sudden be extra itchy. And one of the things is an allergic reaction to sulfur, because sea moss has a high content of sulfur. It does come from the ocean. And if you are allergic to sulfur, you could definitely have a reaction to like the shock, the anaphylactic shock. You can have your throat closing up. You can have your lips swelling, your eyes swelling, things of that nature. I actually had someone write to me who did not get their sea moss from me, by the way, but they said that they took sea moss and had the reaction to sulfur, and they wish they would have known that sea moss had suffered. And I use that example because it is important for you to know these things so you can make the decision before trying it from anybody. Okay. Now, a side note is that some of the symptoms on here are what we call the flu detox that happens when a person is trying to become healthy. When you stop consuming the things that were so toxic and your body starts getting rid of stuff, you get sick. And I tell people it's normally a 3-day process. And you're like sick for 3 days, you feel like crap. And then after the 3 days are over, when you stop sneezing and you don't feel so tired anymore, you feel phenomenal. So some of these could be just part of the fact that the sea moss is actually helping you. Sea moss has been used for hundreds of years as a thickener in foods. It has been used in soups. It has been used in baby food. It's used to make gummy vitamins because of how gelatinous it is, and it has been used in gel pills. Now, sea moss is being made into a pill form, a gummy form, a powder form, the gel. It's been made into a lot of different formats because there are people who are saying, hey, sea moss has benefits. And so people are hopping on that train and using it in a lot of different ways. If you guys know me, you know, I have talked about sea moss and talked about the fact that guess what? I don't like the texture of sea moss. No matter how much I blend it, no matter if I cook it on the actual oven, I don't like the texture of it. That's why I have made my products, and my products are in the form of fruit. Like I have a watermelon flavored sea moss, I have a pineapple flavored sea moss, I have a banana flavored sea moss. Now, the banana flavored sea moss came from Cloudy. Let me give him his props. That was Cloudy. But it's because I need to be able to have it in a taste and a consistency that I can get with. I don't like the plain sea moss. I have clients who do use the plain sea moss, especially the ones who are using it when they're washing their hair, or some people put it inside their coffee and they're fine with it. Now, this is last slide here. You can contact me, Dr. Fryson at tsfcenter.com. There's the links to my social media, my YouTube, Fig LLC. You can shop the products. I prefer you to go to tsfcenter.com. You can also go to drfryson.com. Here are my references for this slide, for this presentation. And then we're going to get back to you guys seeing me. Remember, I try to do at least 2 of these educational presentations each month. I have someone who reached out and asked me a question about something else, and that's going to be the topic for my next one. If you have a question about something, you want me to make a presentation on it, you can just contact me on one of my social medias. You can send me an email. I prefer contacting me on the social medias, Facebook on my page, my Dr. Fryson page, because I get that notification more often than not. Some of the stuff that comes to me on Instagram gets blocked, but there's a lot of scammers out there. But if nothing else, if you email me, it will come through. I know it could go in my spam box and I might not see it. Do what this other person did. She contacted me on Facebook and asked a question, right? And a lot of my videos have been because someone had a question on Facebook, or they have a question about an ingredient that's in one of my products, or they have a question because someone else is starting to take something new and they want to know about it. So if you have a question, send it to me. I will add it to the list. Again, right now I'm only doing like 2 of these a month because they are about 30 minutes long. And then I will make it, record it. It'll be on my YouTube page. So you can always go on YouTube and on my page and type in different topics like turmeric and stuff. You can see my previous videos. And that's it. Until next time, I hope you guys do the very best that you can to take control of your health. It's in your hands. It's not in anyone else's hand. You are responsible. You are accountable. Get my health symptom tracker. That's another thing. If you're going to start things like sea moss and stuff, get my health symptom tracker and write down what's happening. And then that way you can see if you really get benefits from this stuff. That's why I created that. I created that guide for you. And in the fact that is what I used when I was going through my lupus journey. So until next time, you guys be well. Bye.